you've got mail. That was the message New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani tweeted to the city's wealthiest part-time residents last week, announcing a new pied-à-terre tax on secondary homes worth over $5 million. For his socialist base, it was a triumph, but behind the scenes, it was a bureaucratic nightmare. Before that tweet ever went live, veterans inside New York's Department of Finance had urgently pleaded with Mamdani's team not to do it. They warned that turning a legally required tax roll release into a social media spectacle was unprecedented, unserious, and bound to backfire. The mayor ignored them. And now, the fallout is exposing the deep friction between performative populism and actual governance. The pied-à-terre tax is meant to be a surgical strike on the ultra-wealthy, people who keep luxury Manhattan condos empty for most of the year while the city grapples with an affordability crisis. But New York's property tax system is notoriously arcane. By law, the city had to mail notifications to roughly 17,000 property owners flagged by an algorithm. The problem? The algorithm wasn't perfect. Suddenly, lifelong New Yorkers who bought modest homes decades ago during the city's financial nadir were receiving letters demanding tens of thousands of dollars. The city had shifted the burden of proof, forcing these residents to scramble to prove they actually live in their own homes before an August 21st deadline. Adding 11 new employees to the Tax Appeals Board is an admission that the rollout was deeply flawed. But the administrative errors were only half the crisis. Because the city published the list of names alongside Mamdani's gleeful messaging, critics accused the mayor of effectively doxing the rich. The New York Post blared pied-à-terre on its front page. Business leaders, already frustrated by the city's anti-corporate rhetoric, were furious. Steve Fulop, head of the Partnership for New York City, noted that publicly shaming people who have done nothing wrong isn't governance. It's vilifying success. This isn't new territory for Mamdani. In April, he filmed a cheeky video outside billionaire Ken Griffin's penthouse, a stunt that nearly caused Griffin to pull a major office expansion out of the city. Mamdani's base cheered. The moderates winced. But the most significant victim of Mamdani's rollout is his own political ally, Governor Kathy Hochul. Hochul actually introduced this tax as a high-wire compromise. She wanted to placate the rising left wing of the party without passing the massive, broad-based income tax hikes Mamdani originally demanded. It was meant to be quiet, targeted revenue. Instead, Mamdani's fanfare hijacked the narrative, forcing Hochul to distance herself from the very policy she birthed to protect her flank. State Democratic Chair Jay Jacobs called the rollout purely performative, and he's not the only one experiencing déjà vu. Back in 2019, former Governor Andrew Cuomo and his top aide Melissa DeRosa scrapped a similar pied-à-terre tax, warning explicitly that it would be too difficult to administer and would erroneously snare full-time residents. 7 years later, those exact backroom warnings are playing out in public. Zohran Mamdani was elected because working-class New Yorkers are desperately angry about the cost of living. But as former Governor David Paterson noted, the mayor shows absolutely no remorse when his policies cause collateral damage. You can win elections on the promise of taxing the rich, but as the pied-à-terre fiasco proves, you actually have to know how to run the government to collect it.